with copyright laws, we have to ask what is legal or not, what is copyright written anymore when everything is, models are being trained on just about everything on the internet. What is fair use? How do we make up for our data is constantly being sold? Can we get royalties on it? You know, my advice, because everything we do on the internet is for the most part being used to train AI models to stay relevant or successful in the age of AI, my suggestion is don't be scalable. If you can be replaced by a robot, we've tried for so long to be robotic, and that was a good merit to be able to produce the same thing over and over and deliver the same results or better. But now AI can do that. If it can emulate that, it can be outsourced to AI. So my point is, as designers, you want to have your unique stance on design. It's, I think, a time to be even more bold with our designs and not be mediocre, because mediocre is going to get replaced by AI. And there will be much more novelty for artistic or creative expressions that are unique, that are personalized, that are a culmination of the human experience. So I put a bit about Starchitects. We know Starchitects as like famous people like Zaha Hadid and Frank Gehry and so on. But I believe in the age of AI, as we have more and more buildings generated by them, that there's going to be a serious interest and requirement for Starchitects on a local level. It's no longer just the global Starchitects, but the city Starchitect, someone in your town that is known for their take on architecture or their take on design or whatever it is, that we're going to need Starchitects to culminate public interest and get investment for projects. So, yeah, it's a bit like the influencer now, right? There's going to be more of that for creatives and like really being unique and not being repeatable or scalable. But of course, we want to use AI to our advantage as well, to take care of the mediocre aspects of our work and to also help us create something new that is absolutely because we are interesting data, the new data that it is powered on. I put this quote by this philosopher here in Portugal, Agostinho de Silva, where he said, "A man is not born to work, but to create, to be that free poet." And as we have AI take on more of our mediocre work, we really want to ask, like, what is the work we want to do? A big thing here is to contemplate is universal income. If I can do a lot of our tasks powered by us, then we can do so much more. You probably know, working with AI to some capacity at this point, that you can produce a lot more, a lot quicker. And so imagine if you were able to do your weekly amount of work in just a few days, in just a few hours each day, the same amount of work, if not better, and you got paid the same, you know what I mean? Then what do you do with the rest of that time? I innately believe we want to create. It's in us. You can see it in babies. I always joke about the hardest worker on a Sunday is at the beach. These babies with their shovel and pail, they love to work, and it's creative and it's fun. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing about humans and all living things is that we want to create. And I think that is very natural and innate. And right now we're kind of working our way out of a weird paradox we found ourselves in of forced work. And so as AI can kind of take on some of that less human work, how will this change the landscape? One of my questions I was hoping we could talk about is, if money were not an issue, what types of worlds would you create or projects would you delve into? And I think this is important to get a head start thinking about this as things become more automated. And also, people will be more interested in these types of projects as automation kind of dies into the background. So I'm ending with a quote from Buckminster Fuller: "We are called to be the architects of the future, not its victims." I really want to explore the idea that future designers should be visionaries and not just problem solvers.